Psst, Andy.
Yeah.
Guess what?
What?
I've got something that's totally under the radar and like people shouldn't know about, but we'll tell them anyway.
All right.
I've got an official 100% Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds t-shirt.
Holy Christ!
I know. It's amazing. You want to see it? It just looks like it looks like.
Aren't they the ones that Jesus approved?
It's completely approved by the Lord and Saviour. Yeah. It looks like it was woven on high by Zeus and brought down to heaven. Brought down to earth for people to wear, and those people are the mighty chosen ones. Oh yeah.
Like He-Man.
Indeed, much like He-Man. He has the power.
And so can you.
If you wear an Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds t-shirt, that's right. If you want a t-shirt, all you need to do is tell us which t-shirt you want.
And the t-shirts you can have are one of 10 different variants.
My God.
You can... Indeed. Would you like to know those variants?
Please tell me.
The variants you can get are Goosh, He Be Graveyard Dead. They all float down here.
Indeed they do.
I'd jizz on that for $1.
Sure you would.
I would indeed. I've got sexy hands.
Yes, we've all got sexy hands.
Ghost Hawk.
Goosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whippity Thwip.
Oh boy.
No. Why?
Well, no one wants to talk about the monsters.
Exactly. And finally, seeing as we have been doing it, tap dancing on gravel since 2012.
That sounds like the ultimate in t-shirt varieties there. So,
in fact, I think we should grab a passerby. You, Zoe!
Yes?
Would you buy an
Which t-shirt do you want?
I think I would have to go for tap dancing on gravel.
Well, tough, you're getting they all float down here.
Oh no, that's not fair!
And if you want one, then all you need to do is just email us. Email 50footnerds@gmail.com and just tell us what t-shirt you want, what size you want, where you are, and do you know what we'll do then? Is we'll send you a link to our super secret sexy PayPal account, and all you need to do is just pay £15. That's it, 15, 1-5, that's it. Just pay that in, and you'll get your t-shirt in the post, but that's not all. Oh, no. You will get a link to an amazing collector's edition, one of a kind. No one else will have this apart from you and anyone else who buys the t-shirt. Bonus podcast recorded by myself and Andy, talking all kinds of weirdness and nonsense, even more so than on a regular show.
Indeed, and that is an idea we totally didn't steal.
No. And you'll get all your favourite characters. Arnie will be there. Bane will be there. Sean Connery will be there. Everyone's going to be there. Future Andy's going to be there. Isn't that right, Andy?
I shall probably ask him, hey, Future Andy. Yes! Are you going to be on our bonus podcast? I have already recorded it!
In the future!
I suppose.
Yes,
why is that? Because I'm in the future!
That's right. So if you want to be one of the only people to get this amazingly super secret sexy bonus podcast, then get down to 50footnerds@gmail.com, let us know, and we'll get you a t-shirt, we'll get you a bonus podcast, and you will be with the Olympians on Mount Olympus, and Zeus is going to be there shooting lightning bolts down at everyone who didn't buy one. So go and buy one now.
Because as you all know, every 50-foot secret is a sexy one.
Goosh.
Say bye, Zoe.
Goodbye.
God, the things you make me do.
For love.
Piss off.
Did you know that Les Claypool's selling one of his bases?
No.
To raise money for some kid that has leukemia, you can buy it on eBay.
Bill Murray is 61.
Oh, I can't afford a Les Claypool bass. I so want one. Oh well. I've customised my 5-string in the same sort of way, so it's fine.
Well, I got my first real 6-string. I bought it at the 5 and dime. I played it till my fingers bled, and that was the summer of 1999, actually. and me and Prince were there giving it all that, you know.
Oh yeah, that reminds me of when
me and Pulp was there meeting up in the year 2000. So you know.
That reminds me of when I bought my first bass. Because
how much did it cost you? How much did I ask you for, Andy?
He looked me right in the eye and said, "I need about $350."
Fun times.
They came like a bolt out of the blue to discuss everything in geekdom. When Andy and Mike get together, it is the attack of the 50-foot nerds.
Hello and welcome to the long-awaited episode 15 of the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast. My name is Mike Bell, and with me, as always, is my spooky, scary, flying cat ghost of a companion.
Cat ghost?
Yeah. Literally what we've just been speaking about.
Yeah. Well, no, my name is actually Ghost.
And you span from coast to coast.
Yep. Mm-hmm. No, Andy Weirs.
Yes. And we have a third nerd, a guest third nerd this week. She's been talked about many a times. She's been possibly coming on since we first started. And this week we finally managed to collar her down. Third nerd.
And she still owes us royalties.
That's very true. Third nerd, reveal yourself.
It's Zoe Jones.
Yes, the one and only Zoe that we discuss every...
My ex-wife.
We can't do those jokes, she's here.
I don't care.
Fair enough. Yes, you're listening to the Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds podcast, and sorry about the delay. We took a week off from regular show. Luckily, we managed to record a 50-foot commentary for the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead. Mainly
Which was still late because Mike's a whore.
Yes. Basically, we're having some technical difficulties at the moment, mainly because my computer has decided to die. So
my computer's not connecting to the internet half the time on the browser, even though Skype is working perfectly fine.
So it's going to be a fun and interesting show.
And Zoe's apparently about to die any minute.
Yeah, she's about to choke on strawberries, which is not a sentence I anticipated saying. So this is the part then where I ask, how has your week been? So we'll start with you, Andy. Rather have you 2 weeks been?
Fair point.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. The normal up to the previous weekend that's just finished, seeing as we're recording Tuesday, where the weekend of the 8th till the 13th yesterday, I've been at Bloodstock.
Yeah.
Yes. Metal as fuck. Now, and I have many a good story for you, which... Mike, there's one I thought you'd like in particular, which happened on the Sunday night. I've told Zoe a little bit of this one,
right?
But I figured I'd tell you. Basically, me and Daniel, we were up at the Sophie Lancaster stage. We'd finished watching Alice Cooper, who was awesome. I get why Walt loves him so much now.
That would be Walt from Tell 'em Steve Dave and Comic Book Men.
Yep. And because his stage show was great, there was he did the bit where he gets beheaded on stage. When they played one song where I think it's "Be My Frankenstein," and at the end of the song, an actual 15-20 foot Frankenstein's monster starts roaming around the stage, chasing guitarists around.
God damn you, monster!
Yeah, it was great. And then during one song, he actually drove a pole through a dude.
Goosh.
Indeed. Well, he did that earlier with the weird ragdoll person.
Okay.
But after that, we were hanging out at the Sophie Lancaster stage because they always, after all the bands finish on that stage, they always have the 4 DJs of the apocalypse and stuff, and they're like, oh, we play all the metal that you request, and it's no, because we go in, and me and Daniel constantly send them requests, and they're just nope, we're going to play pirate metal, and then we're going to play the songs Book of Heavy Metal and Warriors of the World over and over and over again, which makes me and Daniel both want to kill ourselves. So,
but clearly you didn't. Or maybe you
No.
did, and that's why you're a creepy cat ghost.
Yes.
Mm.
But this last night, because they had some special thing going off, because it was going on until like 3 in the morning rather than 2, they had DJs from a metal club in Nottingham, and they were playing...
Those
all
words don't go together. A
What?
metal club in Nottingham.
Fair enough.
Nottingham. No, it doesn't work, I'm sorry.
Why not?
It's just the least rock and metal name. I was like saying, and now live from Bristol. It doesn't work.
That just reminds me of Bill Bailey's joke where he said he saw Marilyn Manson supporting Metallica, and it's really weird watching a 6'4" guy dressed in makeup screaming the words Milton Keynes. But we decided we can't be bothered listening to Motley Crue and stuff like that, so went back to the tent to get drunk.
Nice.
And just sit around because we were like, it's the last night, so fuck.
God, just so metal. We went to get drunk and sit around.
Well,
It's not like
to be fair,
village and stuff.
like,
You know, there's no.
Eh?
We went and sat in a tent.
no. Well, like I said, it was the last night, and we just we'd run out of energy by that point, and I needed to drive the next morning, so.
Fair enough.
Yep. And while we're sat there, while we're trying to have a conversation about Fornius, next door, some loud couple that in their tent start having sex.
Roosh.
Not really, because apparently they were at it in the morning as well. Me and Daniel, when me and Daniel were talking, and when he went out, he said, "Well, they were in the middle of a group of 30 people who were stood there watching them and taking the piss out of them the entire time."
Nice.
And they were even the guy having sex with the woman said that she was awful looking.
Oh man. Oh dude.
Which Daniel came in and said she looked rancid, and he said that's because she was the type of person. She was basically, by the sounds of it, I didn't actually see her, but Daniel did, and described her as basically a walking STD factory. Which was confirmed on the night because they quietened down a little bit after me and Daniel started loudly talking about making them shut up by getting tent pegs and nailing them to the floor. But they actually stopped. Me and Daniel were both like, "Oh, what the hell?" Because it stopped, and all of a sudden she goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry." And me and Daniel sort of look at each other and go, "What?"
Oh, no.
And then we just hear the guy go, "Ugh!" And we're like, "Oh." And she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm such a messy person or something." And he's like, "There's red everywhere."
Oh,
and we're like,
no.
"Oh, good Jesus!"
Not again. I'm getting flashbacks, Andy. I'm getting flashbacks, man.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's why I thought you'd enjoy this story.
Oh, screw you.
And the worst part was that it apparently wasn't even their tent they were in.
Ah.
Yep. But yeah, other than that, Machine Head were awesome, Evil were awesome, Anal Nathrak were one of the best bands of the weekend. All sorts of cool stuff. I'm going to talk about it more on my radio show on Thursday, so because I don't want to bog us down with me ranting about Bloodstock for 45 minutes.
No, fine. No. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself, sir. Zoe,
Hell yeah.
how's your last couple of weeks been?
I went on a camping trip up to Newcastle just for one night because I'm not very outdoorsy, and we almost got murdered, and there was a dead body in the
Yeah.
woods. Yeah, well,
No.
yeah, but no. It was the farmer coming to move his sheep, but it's the same thing.
Yeah, and apparently they saw a
Right,
tarpaulin
then.
like a dead body, but...
And apart from that, what else have I been doing? That's it. I'm pretty boring at the minute.
Well, I know you got freaked out by something I did this week.
Oh my god.
Certain someone put an audio clip of Connor, Andy and Zoe's son, online. I then decided to take that audio and put it over the top of a certain film clip. I think we'll probably play that audio clip in here so people know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes you do, but let him out there. Wah-ha! Wah-ha!
Yeah, so that basically was Connor being Pennywise the Clown, which I then edited over the top of the actual scene from it, and then sent to both Andy and Zoe and put on YouTube.
Which Zoe's response was, "Oh my fucking god," and mine was, "Ha ha, that's legendary."
Well, I watched it and I was like, right, that's absolutely horrific. So I went to bed, and then I got up in the morning. I was asleep, and he comes into the bedroom and looks to see if you're awake. And if you open one of your eyes, he'll walk in. Mm-hmm. So I opened one of my eyes and went, "Mummy, I'm Pennywise the Clown." I was like, "Get out, get out."
Oh, good times, good times.
Not for Zoe.
No, for me and you, though. No.
Indeed.
Well, I've had a pretty uneventful couple of weeks, really. Just,
apart from being a whore.
Well, no. We're not going to go into that, sir. Suffice to say. Yeah, no, pretty bog standard couple of weeks. I went round to Erica and Alan, who put on the Hoy Lake event around to their place on Saturday for a meal with a bunch of people and that, and got bitten to death by mosquitoes. So I am covered in bites at the moment. As we know, my laptop has died the last couple of days. But on the plus side, I got my iPhone this week. So yay.
iPhones suck.
This really quite good actually. You know.
Just wait until they decide to change the cable and you have to buy all new accessories.
Right. Okay, let's see if he sucks. Siri, do you suck?
I respect you.
See? You respect me, you should respect him.
Fuck that. Ask him if he's Skynet.
Siri, are you Skynet?
I can't answer that.
Oh my god! It's the end!
See?
Andy, maybe that's the time machine, we're gonna send the kid back in time. we have to destroy 5 jobs. Maybe that's why he died. We just don't know. He'd be great.
Quick, ask Siri if iRobot is actually a documentary.
Hang on. Oh, hello. Siri, is iRobot a documentary?
Let me think about that. I can't.
Oh my god. He has to think about it, Jesus. Oh dear. Well, on that bombshell, we're all going to die at the hands of the machines. So let's, well, first of all, let's tell you how you can get in touch with us if you can through the post-apocalyptic world. First and foremost, you can catch us on Twitter. Which
carrier pigeon.
Yeah, you're going to need to do that. Yeah. Yeah, we're on Twitter at 50footnerds. You can get our individual accounts. Mine being at Mike G Bell. Andy, yours is
Vaults of Extos.
Zoe,
spelled EXTOTH.
Zoe, do you want to give yours out or not?
Yeah, it's Commander Kisa. I don't think you can get that wrong.
Okay. You might want to spell Kisa.
Kisa, yeah.
Oh, Kisa.
There you go, because people can get that wrong. And then you can also get us at Skynet Resistance. And yeah, and I'll be with Michael Ironside in a submarine at the bottom of the sea.
Don't go with that. Don't go with Michael Ironside. It'll make your brain explode.
No, his brain explodes. I'll just make him listen back to Ghost Talk. That'll make his brain explode. Well, on that bombshell, then, we're going to move into the stories then. First of all, we're going to go with People in Geekdom.
Shriek in terror! It's time to discuss People in Geekdom.
And this week, our first person in Geekdom is John Barrowman. Well, I was going to go with more with the Torchwood theme myself.
Well, I don't know the Torchwood theme, so... My name is Clarice Starling.
My name is Captain Jack Harkness. Blah, 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 blah. That's a really bad John Barrowman impression. Tonight's the night! Hooray!
Just starts singing Springtime for Him.
Ah, yes, John Barrowman has been on the show, clear, hasn't he, in a way? Yes, well, John...
Be impressed if he actually was and we didn't know.
I know, yes.
Your cousin Chris is actually John Barrowman.
Oh, my God. Well, this week it's John Barrowman...
The moniker is
Shut up and let me tell the bloody thing. That's what you do. John Barrowman this week has decided that he would like to become Batman. I say that. What he's actually said is that he and his partner Scott want to adopt children, but not small children. They want to adopt troubled teenagers and raise them as their own. But I think that is just an elaborate cover story for wanting to adopt circus children whose parents have been murdered, so they can create the new Robins and Nightwings of the world.
Because there's so many of them right now.
Well, John Barrowman was up for Captain America once upon a time, so he maybe missed out on being a superhero then.
Which Captain America was this?
This is the Chris Evans Captain America. He was down to the final 5.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I thought you meant the one that was played by Reb Brown.
No. I'm talking could you imagine in the Avengers you've got John Barrowman and Robert Downey Jr. next to each other? Oh Christ on a bike! Thor comes in, he's "Ooh, I love your muscles."
Christ.
Oh God, yeah. So that was John Barrowman has now been recently announced also as the UK's top celebrity dog owner for 2012 and the male winner of the Rear of the Year.
I completely misheard that.
Did you think you said dogger? Because I did.
Yes.
No, that would be oh God, what was his name now? I forget his name. Screw it, cut that.
Me.
So he wants to basically become Batman. Next story then.
Except gay Batman.
Oh, gay Batman.
So all the DC comic freaks will be going, "You can't make Batman gay."
Again, it doesn't get much gayer than a billionaire who adopts a young boy to become his sidekick and then dresses him in tights. So, make that what you will. Will.i.am is in the news this week. Now, I had trouble kind of quantifying this as people in Geekdom story, but then I remembered he was in Wolverine. So, yeah.
He's also a dick.
That's very true. Well, he got his comeuppance for being a dick this week, as he was at an album launch party in LA, and before, just as he was going into the launch party, he tweeted a photo of himself and Nicole Scherzinger outside his snazzy new DeLorean. He came out to the party a few hours later. Someone had stolen his car.
Well done.
Yes.
I bet it was...
I've since sold it on, and I'm living off the profits.
I bet it was a combination of... what's his name? David Hasselhoff and Marty McFly.
Yeah, Doc Brown runs up to the Will.i.am, we've got to go back to the future. I ain't going nowhere. Nowhere. That's him auto-tuning himself. And
okay.
And then he's like, fine, I'm just going to steal your car anyway. Yes, me and Michael J. Fox, we're going to go to the future.
Why? Oh, I was just expecting Michael J. Fox was walking past, and then David Hasselhoff just jumps on the bonnet of it and goes, "Get in my car!"
Actually, that's how Will.i.am actually auto-tunes himself. He doesn't use any software, he just has Michael J. Fox put his finger up to his Adam's apple, and he just automatically talks like this.
That's kind of cruel.
Well, if he wants to be his right-hand man, lad. David Duchovny has been in the news this week. Now, not talking about the story about him and Gillian Anderson supposedly getting together. Well, that's a whole other can of worms. Yeah. She's left their partner of 5 years this week, and the rumour is that they're in a quite a serious relationship with each other. So, I'm not the only geek who kind of punched the air this week for that news story, but hey ho. Now, David Duchovny's been talking about he wants another X-Files movie. he's not the first person to talk about this recently, as we've discovered. I think it was Frank Spotnitz or Rob Bowman or one of them. Anyway, we discussed it probably about 5 episodes ago, saying that he wanted another movie, and basically David Duchovny went on the record this week and basically said, this series can just go on and on and on. But the thing is, Fox don't want to take a chance on him. The last movie didn't do particularly well, but it only cost about $25 million to make. It made its money back, so it's not like they need to take a huge gamble on it. They know it's an established franchise, whereas they're going out and buying new properties and they're bombing at the box office. He particularly had to go at Green Lantern, saying, why make a movie about that when you could just do something which is established already?
Yeah.
Which is, fair enough. So yeah, he said that I Want to Believe, which was the second X-Files movie, it was too dark and too low budget to appeal to the summer blockbuster audience, which I agree. It's not a summer movie, an X-Files movie. It's a winter movie. People want to go in the dark and see scary stuff. Simple as that.
Yeah.
So don't put it out in the summer, and make another X-Files film, please. Because I'm actually going back through the X-Files at the moment. I'm watching all the mythology episodes, just the mythology episodes.
I still want to watch the ones that Zoe, you mentioned it to me ages and ages ago. The one with the midget guy in a trolley or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good episode. I don't remember that one off the top of my head, the name of it, but yeah, it's Steve Roy who played all the Oompa Loompas in the Johnny Depp version of Chocolate Factory. Yeah. So he also played Mr. Sin in Doctor Who back in the 70s. So there you go. So yeah, make another X-Files movie because I want to see it, and it would be a nice way to round off my my mythology DVD viewings. Right, okay. It's time to talk about Charlie Sheen. And as we reported a couple of weeks ago when DeMonaco was on, Charlie Sheen basically quit his Twitter account. Well, it turns out he's back.
Yeah, that really lasted a long time, didn't it?
Literally 1 month after signing off, he wrote on July the 12th he's gone back on. So it's not even a month. He went back on to basically promote his TV show Anger Management. He went on and tweeted a photo of himself and his dad Martin Sheen, who was guest starring on the most recent episode of Anger Management, which would be, as we're recording this, today. In fact, or rather tonight, I suppose, in America. Yeah, so it's not yet clear whether or not he's going to be doing more tweets or not, but he's back, at least anyway. So let's see what other insanity the man can bring to us.
Indeed.
And finally, in People in Geekdom, we've got a whiny bitch alert. Yep, this week it's Jeremy Renner, who was Hawkeye in the Avengers.
It's probably because everyone still forgets who Hawkeye is.
Well, it's basically his whiny bitch alert is exactly that. He's saying that this role in the Avengers wasn't the role that he signed on to play. Now he says that his role as the superhero Archer was a big challenge due to lack of backstory or understanding.
Read a comic then, dick.
Exactly, yeah, you've got like 40 years of Hawkeye in the comics. It's all there for you. I can see what he's coming in saying, oh yeah, he's literally in the film 2 minutes at the beginning, then gets turned into a bad guy, and then he's just doing action sequences at the end. We don't get a chance to know him, which is fair enough. But at the end of the day, you want to research your character. Go and read the books. Stop being a whiny bitch.
Then what? Wait, why is he whining? Because it's like Hawkeye first appeared practically in the Avengers. So the Avengers is the setup. Well, yeah, but he only appeared for one scene, picked up a bow, went, "Shall I shoot Thor? No? Alright then." Yeah. And that was it. In the Avengers, he was doing a bit more, so people could go, "Oh, this character's kind of cool. I want to know more about him." Exactly. And then they'll make a S.H.I.E.L.D. movie
eventually
about this whole thing.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Which will cover all of Hawkeye, all of Black Widow, and all of that shit.
If he wants to be a whiny bitch about playing Hawkeye, then step down. I'll gladly take over the role. You know what I mean?
So long as you do it all in your Ed Wynn voice.
Oh my goodness, there's some Chichoris. I better shoot my bow and arrow at them. Don't you know? Listen, it's the Black Widow. We're gonna go and shoot some bad guys.
and then I'll sneak into the studio in post production and redub all of Black Widow's lines with porn bass behind it. I'm a
secret super special agent. I know you've got guns and big movies. People see me naked on the internet, big horror.
And they jizzed on it for more than $1.
Indeed. Right, yeah, so Jeremy Renner, whiny bitch. But we're sticking with the Avengers now then, as we move into film news.
Thrills and chills abound in movie news.
And the last 2 weeks, you've probably already heard this. It's no big surprise. Joss Whedon is officially confirmed as the director for Avengers 2.
Yeah.
Electric Boogaloo, as it's going to be known. Yeah, I mean, come on. The guy directed
Avengers 2, Avengerer.
Avenge harder. Oh, God. Any more stupid titles we can think of? Let's see.
I was trying to think of didn't Terminator 2 have a subtitle?
Judgment Day.
Yeah, so it's the Avengers Judgment Day.
No. Avengers 2, Avengers in the Hood. Oh. Avengers in Space. Actually, that's Guardians of the Galaxy, isn't it?
Yeah. But you can't take the Alien and Alien approach because it'd be the Avengers and Avengers.
Avengers. Yeah. I think that's the porno parody version.
Avengers.
Let's see. What?
I will take you on with my Avengers.
Oh, and we found the tone for this week's episode.
As if it wasn't reached by my next door neighbour's tent being flooded with menstruation story.
Goosh. Well, we're sticking with Marvel for the next story then. This story is about basically the Daredevil movie. Now, Fox have been dragging the heels on getting a Daredevil movie up and running. That obviously, with movie rights for third parties, they have a certain amount of time to get something in front of the cameras before the rights revert back to the original holders, Marvel being the holders in this instance. Fox had up until the October the 10th to get Daredevil in front of the cameras. Bear in mind that I think it's Joe Carnahan who did the 18 movie. He was currently in the director's chair to get a Daredevil movie up and running. Basically, that ain't going to happen. There's no way you're going to get something cast and in front of the budgeted in front of the cameras by October the 10th. It ain't going to happen. So what Marvel did is Marvel went to Fox and went, okay, you want a bit more time to make Daredevil. That's fine. We don't particularly care about Daredevil at this point in time. He's not on our plans. Tell you what, you can have him for longer if you give us back Galactus and the Silver Surfer.
Ooh.
Yes, because they hold them in the rights for Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
So by all appearances so far, it looks like Fox may have gone for the deal. However, Joe Carnahan sent a tweet earlier today, I think it was, basically saying it doesn't look like Daredevil's going to be moving forward anytime soon. So Fox may have reneged on that deal and basically let the rights lapse back to Marvel. So it's a case of which is more important to Fox, Daredevil or Galactus. Now bear in mind, Josh Trank, who did the Chronicle movie, is going to be moving forward on the Fantastic Four reboot. Does that mean he wants him for that?
Yeah, maybe.
So it's an unusual set of circumstances right now. I'm sure we'll just have to see what happens come October the 10th.
Indeed. Hopefully it's something. And were you one of the people who basically saw that Galactus was a giant cloud and went, "Fuck that shit"?
Yes.
Right.
Hell yes.
Because
I actually despise that movie. They did the Silver Surfer, okay. Everything else was just... Ugh.
I wasn't too fussed about Galactus being like that, because I presumed that was sort of like, instead of it just them taking the route of Galactus gets there, punches a planet, eats it, or whatever the fuck. that was like some sort of weird, advanced army type deal.
Well, the way they worked it in the Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, which I think is a terrible title, the way they worked it in that is when the Galactus cloud goes over the moon, I think it is, or Jupiter or something like that, you kind of see the horns of his helmet. You see
the silhouette of his helmet.
And when the Silver Surfer is flying inside the big old cloud, again you see that kind of silhouette in there. Now, one of the original ideas was going to be when they were to spin off a Silver Surfer movie from that movie.
Where you would actually the smoke screen would kind of disperse and you would see the gigantic man that is Galactus. But obviously they didn't think that would work in a Fantastic Four movie, even though it's been working in the Fantastic Four comics since the 1960s. God, did he think we're dumb or something? You know what I mean? Granted, Galactus, as a big giant spaceman, would possibly look a bit silly, but still, I want to see it. Yeah, but we'd still go to see that because us two are the ones going, you know what needs to be done in a Transformers movie? Unicron!
Yes.
And they're basically the same thing, except for Unicron's a robot version with wings.
Yeah, but Unicron is established as that. Galactus is not established as a frigging cloud.
Well, precisely.
Exactly. So,
although, thinking about it, I
would have even gone with the Swarm version that they did in the Ultimate Universe. Basically, the Swarm version is loads of, literally billions of, robotic insects. That's what the Galactus Swarm is in the Ultimate Universe.
So basically, the remake of The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, speaking of the connection between Galactus and Unicron, the way they went with Galactus there, the cloud that starts eating shit, that's actually, according to the original draft script of the Transformers 1986 movie, that's how Unicron was supposed to eat planets.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that film, we're talking about Fantastic Four, so...
I know, I'm just saying...
Story can just go and eat a mongoose's anus.
Have you been drinking Rolling Rock?
No, not today. No, I'm not drinking today. I have to drive shortly.
Oh. For anyone who didn't get that, that was an angry video game nerd reference.
Indeed.
Because he drinks a lot of Rolling Rock and then says stuff like that.
Is Zoe still there, or has her mind exploded from fury at the misuse of Galactus?
No, I'm still here. It's just weird because I usually listen to it, so...
Well, you kind of have to interact. That's how podcasts work, you see. It doesn't do... I mean, I listen back to it.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know much about the Fantastic Four.
What do you know?
You do the exact opposite of me when listening to these shows, because when I listen back to them, I start yelling at the screen because I've just thought of something I should have said while we were recording.
What do you know of the Fantastic Four, Zoe? Really, all that? That's incredible.
Oh, there was actually nothing there. I thought my internet cut out.
Yeah, same here. No, there was literally nothing.
Okay.
Is she still there?
Yeah.
What do you know of the Fantastic Four?
I saw the bit where they get married, and that's about it.
What, in the movie?
Yeah.
What?
Oh boy, how about the guest list? Let me into the wedding. I'm Stan Lee.
Ah, my left arm.
Wait a minute. How can I be in the fictional universe and also real at the same time? I'm disappearing.
Oh no, I'm turning into Gary Oldman.
Oh God. I still maintain the only way to do the Akira movie is like the Polar Express, just with everyone being played by Gary Oldman.
Even Tetsuo and Kaneda.
Everyone. Even the creepy, bloody Godfather kid in this floating chair. Literally everything.
That'll just be Gary Oldman on his knees in a floating chair.
Let's face it, Gary Oldman was on his knees playing a midget in Tiptoes, wasn't he?
Exactly.
Yeah, there we go. He can even be the creepy, gigantic stuffed teddy bear that comes to life and everything.
Well, that'll just be a giant stuffed Gary Oldman going, I jizz out of my eyes!
I'm bleeding, mirror. For more information on Gary Oldman, listen to the Akira commentary.
And pretty much every other podcast we've made since that, where we've constantly referenced Gary Oldman. Oh God, we owe him royalties.
Gary Oldman. What's next? Okay. It's time to talk about Bill and Ted. You were going to do that. Yeah, it's basically Bill and Ted 3 has been greenlit.
And there was much rejoicing.
Yay!
Indeed, it's going to be brought to us by the same director who did Galaxy Quest, Dean Paraso. He's working on the script for Bill and Ted 3 with Chris Matheson and Ed Solomon, who created the characters, and Keanu Reeves and Alex Winters are going to be back in the original roles. Now,
awesome.
Keanu Reeves did an interview with GQ recently about and talked about Bill and Ted 3, and from what the sounds of it sounds like it could be about parallel universes. So,
awesome.
Yeah, obviously at the end of Bill and Ted 2, they're supposed to have, defeated the Anomalous, and Rufus was cross-dressing for some reason, and it's all a bit weird. And then they go off to the moon and play with the Martians and make the greatest song ever created, and Death goes off with a solo album and blah, blah, blah. It's weird. But it's still one of my favourite ending credit sequences of all time. But basically, they're saying that they're supposed to have gone off and written the song that changes the world, and obviously, look at where we are now. So people are like, well, where's the song? Where's the song that's going to change everything? And they've kind of just drifted off and lost their mojo, essentially. So they have to go onto an expedition into the future and find out, if they wrote the song and one future version of them refuses to tell them, another future version blames them for their lives going wrong because they didn't write the song, another version they're in jail, and another they're living in a motel, and they hate them. So it does sound to me like parallel universes, which would be brilliant. Because let's face it, what have we had? We've had time travel, we've had the afterworld. Parallel universes is the only way to go.
Yeah.
And let's face it, as good as we had the robot Bill and Ted's in the second one, imagine parallel Bill and Ted's now.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. So long as one of them is like the parallel universe from like Star Trek, so they go, and the only difference is that they have beards.
Well, that's what they come back like. That's what Keanu Reeves comes back as at the end of Bill and Ted 2, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
When they go off to learn how to actually play guitars, they come back and he's got the beard and everything. You know what's going to happen is they've got to pass from one universe to the other, and they both just got to go, whoa. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. Yeah.
Indeed.
What's next then? We will, as well as going back to the 80s with Bill and Ted 3, we'll go back to the 80s because they want to do a movie of Alf.
Cool.
Now, hands up anyone who remembers Alf. I've got my hand up.
I do, but he scared me.
Why? Why did he scare you? Was it because he ate cats?
No, it's just his face. I remember having, I used to get the, like...
Oh, what's wrong with my face? I just look like a kind of lovable rogue, isn't it?
Oh,
with a penis for a face.
Yes,
well, exactly. The year planners, I used to have one of them with Alf on it, and I don't know why I got bought it. And I just used to hide it.
As I'm always stood behind a table or a countertop or something like that. You never see my legs, which is weird.
He's basically the American version of Sooty.
Essentially, yeah, except he speaks. No, we do love Alf.
So he's the American version of Sue.
Well, yeah, okay, fair. Now, what they want to do is they want to redevelop Alf into a kind of, almost like they did with the Smurfs, is he's going to be CGI.
Huh.
Yeah, so they're going to do like a CGI live action kind of crossover kind of deal. Which, it looks like Paul Fusco, who created the character and indeed voiced him on the show, is expected to come back. So he's going to be talking like this in the movie. Also, which is brilliant for me. There's no writer or director attached at the moment, only the fact that they want to make it. So I'd love to see it. But, I mean, well, I suppose we'll actually get to see his legs this time then. Now, I know they did a...
What, you're going to be disappointed if the design of his legs are really shit?
Yes, I'll be on the internet, Ain't It Cool News and talkbacks going, Dear Harry knows, I hate this movie because Alf didn't have especially hairy legs. They were like 3/4 hairy, and I wanted them 100% hairy, and that was no good.
No, they'll completely screw with everyone. It'll turn out that Alf's legs are the same legs as a chicken.
It's got sexy legs. Oh, yes, here's Alf, and he shaves his legs, and he's got proper, like, Marilyn Monroe sexy legs. He's standing over a grate, and his skirt's blowing up. Gush.
His skirt's made of his own fur.
He's got a furry skirt. That sounds wrong.
That sounds like a euphemism. Alf's very scared.
Yes.
We need to somehow use that euphemism in our day-to-day lives.
God damn. Next Bloodstock, if you're in the same row as them again, like, get her to show you where
Just
fairy
say-
scared. Show us Alf's fairy skirt, love.
Well, what? They'll be like, oh, fuck off. Here, have a tent peg. Bash!
I don't know what's worse, Alf's fairy skirt or a tent peg. Anyway.
Yeah.
What have we got next? Oh, Ben Affleck. Speaking of one puppet, let's talk about another Muppet. Ben Affleck.
With Ben Affleck.
Well, Ben Affleck, he's not known for being the greatest emoter in the world, is he? Nah.
Lion face. Lemon face. It doesn't work in an audio mode.
No! I was actually making the faces though, so...
I expected you to.
Okay, my internet doesn't want to work. But, basically, what's...
Oh, God. It's Skynet.
It is. Let me ask Siri. Hang on, let's find out. Okay. Why have you forsaken me?
If you like, I can search the web for why have you forsaken me?
Don't be a smart ass. Well, Ben Affleck this week is basically... it seems that Warner Brothers want him to direct the Justice League movie.
Huh.
Now,
I heard that as well. I was like, what?
Yeah. No, I mean, Affleck kind of seems to have given up on acting unless it's in his own movies at this point. And he's actually made some pretty damn good movies. If you ever see Gone Baby Gone, if you haven't, watch it because it's so good. And it's looking like his new film Argo, which is basically stealing all the cast from Red State. It's looking like that's going to be pretty damn good come awards season.
He's friends with Kevin Smith and he's stealing all the cast from Red State.
Well, Kevin Smith has addressed this on his podcast, so if you want to have the full story, you need to go back and listen to them. But
which episode?
It's probably on some Hollywood Babylons. I have no idea off the top of my head.
Ah, right. I thought you meant Smodcast.
No, it's probably mentioned it on Smodcast as well. But, no, basically what the deal is that Affleck is wanted by Warner Bros. To come in and direct Justice League. Now, rumour has it that he's basically told them where to go. But, at the same time, we've had no official confirmation either way as to who is directing the Justice League movie, so I would say the offer's still on the table. Which would be interesting. I mean, the guy can certainly direct, and if they're gonna have to try and kind of match up, or if indeed exceed the Avengers, you want a high quality, high caliber director.
Yep.
And if they've got Joss Whedon, then Ben Affleck is a pretty damn good choice, in my opinion. But in as much as I think one of the strengths of the Avengers is because Joss Whedon actually wrote the damn thing as well, and he knows his comics, which Affleck knows bits and bobs, but I wouldn't say he's an authority on it.
Well, seeing as his favourite character was Daredevil, I don't know whether he'd be up on his DC.
Well, yeah, he did that god-awful Daredevil and Elektra movie, didn't he? That's where he met his wife, our bloody trout pout.
Yeah.
Which, don't get me wrong, she's fit, but she's got a weird mouth, especially in Daredevil. Don't know what's going on there. You're right, Zoe.
Yeah, just laughing at that.
Laughing at what?
Just you talking about whatever her name is. I can't remember what she's called. Jennifer
Garner.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jennifer Love Hewitt.
No. No, she's got a trout pot, but she's different.
Why? Because she's got massive tits?
Yes.
I have a picture of her.
Do you now? Goosh.
No. Wait for it.
Goosh.
No. This is from one of the picture is from one of the things I won from Superfly when I faxed them the picture of my cock.
Oh hell, I don't want to see this picture then.
I'll give you a hint. The book is called chicks ... with dicks ? ?
Ew. Do you know what? I used to love that film Heartbreakers, and now I know that's exceedingly sad to say on this podcast. I don't know why I've just admitted that. That one that she's in with Sigourney Weaver, because Sigourney Weaver is, even though she's like 60 or something like that, she's still hot. So yeah, the pair of them together in that movie was just like great for me. But yeah, damn it, I'm proud to say I like that movie. It's got Ray Liotta in it as well, so shut up. Yeah, so you got basically a chicks with dicks picture about Jennifer Hewitt then.
It's worse than that.
Oh, dude, there's a video.
How would a book have video?
I don't know. You said it was worse than a picture.
Yes, and I shall now put it in the chat for here, just to see what your reactions are.
Oh Christ on a bike, let's see what this is. Andy's sending me a file.
I'm sending both of you a file.
Oh, it's taking its time to upload.
So, yeah. It's called, the file is called JLH for KWAC because I talked about this on the podcast and KWAC immediately wanted to see the picture.
Well, it's got 5 seconds before it arrives, and I will be able to discuss what is seen in the picture.
Zoe's not bothering to download it.
I am, it's coming.
Oh, holy Christ.
Oh, God.
What in the name of sweet Jesus is that? Well, I can never watch Ghost Whisperer in the same way again.
Oh, God. I'm just waiting for Zoe to get it now.
Oh, Jesus, my eyes. I don't know what
yes, I know.
Or the picture I saw earlier, which I was going to put in any other business, but I thought no, because people, well, you guys are going to want to sleep at some point, and you will never be able to sleep again if you see this photo.
Send it me.
No. If you listen to this week's Tell 'em Steve Dave, even Brian Johnson is freaked out by it. Because Gidim shows him it. Yes.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yes, people who, bear in mind, people who listen to us and Tell 'em Steve Dave, if you've not listened to the most recent episode, which is, I think, is 120, yeah, Gidim's on it.
I was going to say, because last time I looked, they hadn't got any new ones for download yet.
Oh, yes, there.
Zoe's finished downloading and she's gone quiet.
No, I'm just waiting for it to open because my computer's really slow.
Okay.
Your complete and honest reaction.
Was that the reaction?
No, my phone's dying. Phone? Computer.
You may want to plug it in.
No, it's just shit.
Where's this reaction then?
Shit, you still...
It's coming. Give it a chance.
Goosh!
It's alright, we can cut out the
Oh, come on, you silly thing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is how slow Zoe's computer is. Mine doesn't even work, and it would have got this picture by now.
Come on.
Should we just play in some clips of Pennywise the Clown just to pass the time?
I was going to say, we'll just continue with the story, and then we'll just stop and go back to this when we hear Zoe go, "Oh dear sweet Christ!"
Yes, okay. Well, the next story then I've got is about Sacha Baron Cohen. He of Ali G and Borat and Bruno and...
oh my God, what the fuck?
Yeah, there it is. There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Just doing it to register what was going on there. Oh, God.
Oh, God, it's legendary. For anyone... for people who obviously cannot see this picture...
The thing that's taken the longest to register, that took the longest, was the candle.
Oh, no, mine was the banana for a moment.
Yeah.
People haven't seen this picture, I have no idea what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah. Basically, I'll describe it to you. It's basically Jennifer Love Hewitt as a chick with a dick. Except she's got a banana shoved up her ass and a candle down her urethra that's lit. Which is why, like, Tony and that mentioned that was one of the pictures in the book before they ever sent it me. So I was like, okay, I was prepared. So
you were. Thanks for that one.
Hey?
I said at least you were. Thanks for that.
Yeah, I just wanted to see your hear your reactions.
Oh, you git. I'll move on.
Anyway,
yes.
Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yes. He's been contracted this week, according to the Hollywood Reporter, to be writing a script, basically of a James Bond spoof. Now, this is, let's see what it says here, is the synopsis that we seem to have at the moment is a spoof that would have a Bond-like agent forced to go on the run with his long-lost brother, a moronic soccer hooligan.
Huh.
I don't even know what to begin to say about that one. I've got to
I was
say...
going to say that the beginning premise, where it's like, oh, it's a spoof of James Bond, I was thinking, so Johnny English.
Or Spy Hard.
Yeah.
Or Get Smart.
But then, obviously, they went, his long-lost brother, a moronic soccer hooligan. I was like, okay.
I'll tell you what, one of my favourite Bond spoofy movies ever is going back to Bill Murray, because we mentioned him pre-credits before. I don't know if you may hear this talking about that. I don't know whether Andy's put that clip in or not. Bill Murray in a movie called The Man Who Knew Too Little. It's one of my favourite movies ever. It's basically a guy who gets... he comes over to England. His brother lives in England. He's a banker or something like that. And he comes over to celebrate his birthday, or like unannounced. And his brother's like, I've got to get rid of him for the evening because he's having guests over for dinner. So what he does is he finds a street theatre, and basically you kind of improvise it with the actors and stuff, and it takes about 3 hours and stuff. It's called Theatre of Life, and he gets involved with that, but it goes wrong, and basically he gets caught up in some spy plot by accident. He takes the wrong phone call and gets involved in his spy plot. And it involves a bomb trying to blow up the Prime Minister and everything. Oh, it's just so good.
So the Prime Minister doesn't have to fuck a pig? No,
not in this one, no.
Oh, which reminds me, I told Daniel about that, and now he's like, I've got to watch this program.
Watch it, I think it's out on DVD, Black Mirror.
Yeah, just because I said it was a Charlie Brooker thing, and he was like, oh, Charlie Brooker's awesome. And he actually remembered... Hey?
I said Charlie Brooker is awesome.
Yeah, because he said he remembered the screen wipe where the guy mentioned all that stuff. So,
yeah, definitely check that one out if you still not seen it.
Which also reminded me, have I ever asked you if you saw the TV show Jam?
Oh, I think I have a long time ago, but yeah.
It's made by Chris Morris, the same guy who did...
Yes.
Was it Brass Eye? And he did that Four Lions film. Basically, Jam is completely fucked up, just because Brass Eye was kind of fucked up and got cancelled by Channel 4, and then once it started getting a cult following after the initial shock died down, Channel 4 were like, okay, we want you to come back, and he's like, but only if you let me do whatever I want in this show. And they were like, okay, done. So he made Jam, and they fired him again.
You gotta love Chris Morris, though.
Yeah, it's like my favourite sketch. One of my favourite sketches on that show is the one where I've forgotten his name, but if you've seen Spaced, he's the guy who plays Brian.
Yes, yeah. What's his name? Mark Heaps.
Yes, where you just see him set up a camera. He starts ranting into it, saying like how
he's also in The Next Door Neighbour in Friday Night Dinner, which is coming back for a new series fairly soon.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
But he's talking into the camera, saying about like how he always loved this woman who's split up with him and all this sort of shit. And he's like, oh, I'm recording this so you can always remember this moment and stuff. And then he goes back behind the camera and points at her window, and you just hear hear an engine rev, and you're like, okay, and then he starts yelling her name. He's like, I think it's like Jennifer or something. He's like, Jennifer! And she opens the window, and she's like, what are you doing on the lawn? And he's like, this is for you! Ah! And you just hear him scream in pain, and this, like, noise, and then just her whole house gets splattered in blood.
Oh, lovely.
Because he's just thrown himself into a wood chipper aimed at her bedroom window.
Hello, Martina. How are you? All right. I'm not. I got you one last present, Martina. There it is. So you can watch yourself getting it. Over and over again. Keep watching. Just keep watching. I'm coming, Martina. I'm coming. I'm coming, Martina. Here I come. Keep watching, Martina. Martina! Martina! I'm coming back, Martina!
Well.
Oh, you think that's bad? Search Plumber Baby sketch.
Okay.
I'm not even going to tell you what that's about. That was the only sketch in that show where even I just sat there and went, holy shit.
Well, from one horrifically scary thing that could scar your mind to another, Sony are moving forward with a Masters of the Universe reboot.
Does it have the power?
It may very well do.
Awesome.
It's looking like John Chu is going to be directing, who is the current director of G.I. Joe Retaliation, that movie that we discussed previously that was due out this summer but has been moved back.
G.I. Tourer.
Yes, G.I. Moore.
G.I. Joe-er.
Yo, Joe, again.
Yo, Joe.
Yeah.
He sounds like a character from fucking, oh, hell. What's that program? So you know the one I'm talking about. It's the one that you hate and everyone accused of being Buddhist.
What?
I don't know.
The kids program with the things that fly around that go, oh, Wabaloo, that's it.
Oh, yeah. Yo, Jojo.
Yeah, that's what I was going.
That Wabaloo, I think that's dreadful. I absolutely think that's one of the worst programs I've ever seen in my life. Well, speaking of the worst things I've ever seen in my life, anyway, they want to reboot the Masters of the Universe movie. Now, obviously, they did a movie way back in the 80s, which was starred Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, and indeed he had the power. Have you not seen it?
I might have.
It's Dolph Lundgren as He-Man and Frank Langella as Skeletor.
Okay.
Yes. So it's Ivan Drago versus Richard Nixon, basically, and it's terrible. And it also starred Courtney Cox back in one of her very first roles. In fact, she's when He-Man goes to Earth, she's He-Man's mate. It's weird, but yeah. So they want to do a new version of that. Now I've read they've tried to do new versions over the years. In fact, I read a script for a version they tried to get off the ground about a year or two ago, which was going to have Skeletor be He-Man's father and stuff, and it's just plain strange. But with John Chu attached, depending on how G.I. Joe works out, we could potentially see He-Man back on the big screen.
Yeah, but looking at his...
starring Channing Tatum, most likely.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at his credits, directing credits before G.I. Joe Retaliation. It's Step Up 2, The Streets, and Step Up 3D.
Yes.
So it's like, yeah, so to be honest, after hearing that, I didn't realise that the director of the second G.I. Joe movie was previously responsible for those films. Well, so now it sounds like it's going to be really bad.
Well, again, talking
although, to be fair, we've already heard that from test screenings it was really bad.
Indeed it was. And again, from something that could potentially be really bad to another thing that could potentially be really bad, which is Dumb and Dumber 2. Now, I think we've discussed this previously.
Dumb and Dumber.
No, that was the other one. That was the
Dumb and
prequel.
Dumber.
Yeah, that was the prequel.
Ah, that's the one I was thinking of. I thought Dumb and Dumber had some other film.
Yes, it was a prequel that had nothing to do with the Farrelly brothers or Jim Carrey or anything like that. Or
it just had something
Daniels.
to do with the...
just had the same characters, that's it.
I was going to say it just had something to do with the fact that the production company wanted more money.
Yes, it had something to do with the bank balance, yes. Well, Jeff Daniels went on the record this week and basically said that Jim Carrey does want to do the Dumb and Dumber 2 movie, which the reason why it kind of fell apart was apparently because he didn't want to do it. He read the script and said it was crap. He said, Jeff Daniels says that Jim wants to do it, he wants to do it, the Farrellys want to do it, so they're going to rewrite the script and try and get it going before he has to go back and do the second season of Newsroom next November. Yeah, hopefully we can we'll be able to see Harry and Lloyd back on the screen at some point.
I've still never seen the original. You've told me to go watch it.
Yes,
I'm pretty sure.
I have.
But I've just not had a chance, so fuck it.
Well, get a chance. Right,
And
and
then
my final bit of news I've got this week is casting news, which is about Thor 2, The Dark World. And it's been announced in the last couple of weeks, the villain for the movie, which is going to be played by none other than previous Doctor Who actor, the Ninth Doctor himself, Christopher Eccleston, who's going to be playing Malekith the Accursed, who's the ruler of the Dark Elves of Svartalheim.
Nice.
Yes.
Although looking at the picture, I was like, I just find it weird imagining Christopher Eccleston to have his face painted black.
Well, to be fair, I did manage to watch the end of G.I. Joe, the first one, recently, after previously saying that it was one of the only films, in fact, the only film I'd never watched all the way through. I did manage to finish it, and at the end of G.I. Joe 1, he gets infected with these nanomachines and basically gets the Destro mask, his entire face is turned into metal. So if they can do that to him in the end of G.I. Joe, then yeah, I'm sure they can do something to him as Malekith. I mean, it's not his first foray into the world of comic books either, because he was on Heroes. If anyone remembers, he played Claude, the Invisible Man.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, back in season
Also, G.I.
1.
Joe is also a comic, so...
Yeah, but I'm not counting that because it was shit. So...
What, the film?
Yeah.
Ah, fair enough.
Whereas Heroes went shit after in season 2 onwards. And also, it's been announced that Alex Krieg has been cast in a role.
The most black metal name ever.
Well, she was previously the Borg Queen in Star Trek First Contact. Looks like she's going to be playing Alphys, the Queen of the Dark Elves. So it looks like she's going to be Chris Eccleston.
Yeah, it looks like Alphys.
Yeah. So, yeah, it looks like those two will be the main villains.
Huh.
Interesting.
I sense a sex scene!
In a Marvel movie.
Why not?
Okay.
There won't be. I'm joking.
Well, that's the end of my film news, so I'm going to hand over to Andy, who's going to give us the latest in comics.
Squirm in fear. It's time to talk comics.
Yeah, the first story I've got, these are kind of old, so people might have heard them already. But obviously, they've announced that there's going to be a new Green Lantern in the Green Lantern series.
Oh yeah, I heard about this guy.
Yeah, with his face is mostly hidden by a mask, so they've had no idea who he is. But apparently, the Diamond Retailer site has just released info on the Green Lantern the Green Lantern issue 13.
Right.
And his name is Baz.
Baz.
As
in Barry.
It just says Baz, so I presumed that the new Green Lantern's going to turn up going, Hey, mate, I'm going to beat you up, mate. You're not giving us 20p for that fucking bus, mate.
I don't think you should be on this bus. Get off, and I shall fight you. I don't care if you have a power ring.
Dickhead, you're a dickhead.
Green Lantern versus Bane. I shall fight you on the bus. I shall fight you off the bus. And if you come near me, then your punishment will be more severe.
Which reminds me, I'm hopefully going to see that film some point this week.
Dude, you still haven't seen it?
No.
Oh, God. Have you seen it yet, Zoe?
No, I
oh my
had
God,
to.
you both suck so hard.
I had to forgo my tickets to take Connor to see that Pirates thing. So.
Well, the Pirates was all right, so I'll let you off there. But even so, you should go and see Batman.
Do you want to come with me and Daniel?
Well, it depends when it is.
Now, go.
Tomorrow or Friday.
I'll see.
Okay. Anyway. That's pretty much it. The new Green Lantern's apparently called Baz.
Okay.
And he's apparently a key figure in the Green Lantern's event Rise of the Third Army.
Ooh.
So, yeah. Next, I'm just going to go on Comics Alliance, where apparently former Superboy writer Carl Kessel sells a load of his classic comics collections to pay for his son's medical bills.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, basically, if you poll the pool of regular Comics Alliance contributors on a complete list of their all-time favourite comics, there's apparently quite a high probability that Carl Kessel will be in some way responsible for the creation of at least some of those works. But he's making a sacrifice that few of them could imagine, which is selling his Silver Age Marvel Comics collection, which he's putting up to pay for the medical expenses of his newly adopted son, who was born to a mother who was in treatment for heroin addiction.
Damn, dude.
So the baby's home and healthy, but even with insurance, the family's medical expenses could be as high as $50,000. So
yeah, so he's going to need quite a lot of cash. So if he's got some comics in decent quality, which I would imagine he would do, then that's going to go quite some ways.
Yeah, definitely. It says, as testified by friends like Steve Leiber and Mark Wade, Carl Kessel is a very decent fellow, and it's hardly a surprise that he and his wife Myrna would adopt a newborn baby in need of a loving family. And Kessel's doing what for many comic fans is all but unthinkable. And in Kessel's own words, he basically just described it as, I'm giving away some of my childhood, but we get a whole new childhood in return.
That's pretty damn groovy. That is really commendable by that guy.
Hell yeah. That's why I chose that story. It's like a week old, but...
Dude, that's the kind of stories we like. It's people who do selfless stuff, to... Yeah, basically that's pretty damn cool.
Yeah, it kind of gives you hope in the world.
Indeed.
And then the last story I've got is basically that IDW had a panel at San Diego Comic-Con. They teased some stuff about G.I. Joe,
right?
Transformer comics, which in August they're going to have the Dinobots, which is very cool.
Yeah.
But the main reason I picked this up is because the crowd went really wild for the final announcement of the panel when the words "Friendship is magic" flashed across the screen.
No.
IDW plans to publish a new series of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic comic books.
For God's sakes.
This is the first time the property will ever have its own series of comics. Comic will be written by Katie Cook, who is a pretty cool writer, and she's an awesome person. And art by Andy Price. So,
did you say Price, as in 10p Price?
Yes.
Ooh.
Cook, an artist herself, said Price's work so far has been fantastic because he's a total brony.
Oh, God, I hate that phrase.
As bronies everywhere began to cheer, the panel wrapped, leaving fans with a better look at IDW and Hasbro's upcoming comics for the rest of the year. So basically, I just wanted to mention that because I wanted to see what your reaction was to the fact that there's going to be a My Little Pony comic.
In the words
that's
of
one
Kid from Futurama,
In the words of Sideshow Bob.
No, my kid doesn't want to do very often. But, well, yeah, it's broken out when needs be. Yes.
Fair enough. But, yeah, that's pretty much all the comics news, so...
Cool. In that case, then...
On with the show!
On with the show, which we need to go through fairly quickly, so we shall move to TV news.
Tremble at the might of the TV section.
And we're going to be going back to Joss Whedon, as we talked about him earlier. He's apparently working with Marvel on a TV show set in the Avengers universe. Now, we discussed this, I believe, in the last episode about a possible live-action TV show. Well, it's been confirmed. So, so we're getting Avengers 2, we're getting Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, blah, blah, blah. Now, this seems to be separate to the live-action Hulk TV series that is being worked on currently. Don't know whether or not that's going to be set in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. One would hope so, though. And but this is definitely going to be Avengers theirs. So, as I've said previously, I hope it's Heroes for Hire.
Yeah, that could be pretty cool.
Most likely going to be a S.H.I.E.L.D. movie. Kind of like a Monster of the Week in terms of the villain and what have you, but yeah. Fingers crossed, anyway.
What do you reckon, Zoe? You're still really quiet.
I don't know. I was thinking about the Disney is showing all that Avengers TV show, the animated one.
Oh, it's Mightiest Heroes.
Yeah,
the one with the really shit intro music.
But it's so good though.
But it's shit.
Yeah, but the intro music.
Oh, you mean the TV show?
The show is great. Yeah.
Yeah, the show is good. It's just the intro is really shit. Although the other day I was watching it and thinking to myself, I could actually make this better. All I have to do is just change the guitar slightly to sound like power metal and make the vocals more like yeah, and it's all good.
Oh.
I might actually do that and record an alternate intro theme for it.
Go for it, man. Go for it.
Yes, I just need to ask Daniel to include to record a sweepy solo for me.
Sweepy solo. I think he was Hans, wasn't he?
I think he's related to deep vein thrombosis.
Oh yeah. Right, what's next? Goosh. Phil Davis has joined the cast of Being Human for the new series. You will know the name. He's been in everything. You may not recognise the actual name, I suppose, but you would know him if you see him. He's Whitechapel is probably his big thing that he's in at the moment. He was Lucius Petrus Dexterus on Doctor Who a couple of seasons ago in the Pompeii episode. He's played in the new series of Being Human, as I say, playing a character called Captain Hatch. He's described as a wheelchair-bound, bitter, manipulative, obsequious and cruel, and embodies the worst in humanity. He's also hiding a dark and toxic secret that can rattle your soul with fear.
He's actually merged with a wheelchair, and it's a crossover with
Evil Hawkins.
Hello, my name is Evil Hawking.
I have come to destroy all the vampires.
Oh no. Oh no. Mr. Vampire, why are you wearing that trilby?
I'm on Evil Hawkins. Let's see what's going on here.
And now Zoe's lost.
And for the in-joke, listen to Ross Noble on real time. Or watch it.
Yes, indeed.
Yes. What's next? Who's next? Right. NBC in America are working on a TV series based on the legend of Cleopatra, the Egyptian queen. Basically, it sounds to me like they've seen that the Spartacus and Rome and all them TV series, they get good ratings. So let's cash in.
Do you know who should do the soundtrack? Nile.
Oh, bunch.
Just the intro would be death metal. It'd get no people watching it whatsoever, except for me.
Okay. Well, considering it's a story of treachery and romance and blah blah blah, Mark Antony, Julius Caesar, it's ripe for right for the telling, I suppose. And especially now that Spartacus has been completely cancelled, they need something. So...
Oh, one of the producers produced Transformers Dark of the Moon, so maybe Cleopatra will turn into a truck.
Here's hoping. Right, what's next? Oh, here's some words I never thought I'd ever say. Dr. Dre is working on a crime drama.
Why is that surprising?
Because he's Dr. Dre. He's working with the FX network.
Dude, Ice-T is on a version of Law and Order.
Yeah, he's on NCIS or something like that, yeah.
And his band Body Count had a song called Cop Killer.
Yeah, but he's also he's also an actor, whereas Dr. Dre, as last time I checked, was not a television producer.
Yeah,
so,
I suppose.
Yeah, unusual. So he's basically...
He's probably just making up more excuses to not release his new album.
Well, possibly. He's recently featured on 50 Cent's new single, New Day, with Alicia Keys. So he's going to be...
He came on because 50 Cent got scared by an owl in pyjamas.
Again, more lots of...
With human thumbs!
That's how you freak out 50 Cent. Yeah, don't bother coming on just with one of them siren things. Just get an owl in pyjamas with human thumbs and just let him walk across the front of the stairs like that. Just at the point that 50 comes out onto the stairs. Yo, go on. Leave it there like that. Yo, make some... What the fuck is that? There's an owl with human thumbs wearing pyjamas! Run for your life!
What?
That one's from Randomist.
Let's see what's next. Now I've got a story here that you guys didn't have. I actually found it before after I sent over the notes. Actually, I think Zoe it might be in yours. There's a series called Hench being worked by NBC, which is a supervillain themed TV show, which sounds a bit more like it. Sounds like the opposite of Heroes. Let's see what we've got here. It will focus on a man who tempts for supervillains in order to look after his family. It's a high-concept drama. It centers on a regular guy who supports his family, gets a job. Yeah. So that's basically it. That's all we really know right now, but it sounds interesting. I'd certainly watch it. Yeah. But it does sound like the antithesis of Heroes. So, see what.
And then they'll do a crossover. Oh no, they can't. Because Heroes stopped.
Plus, Heroes already did a season called Villains, so can't do it again. Yes, I think it was Volume 3 was called Villains. I've got a feeling. I don't remember off the top of my head.
Well, that's really daft.
That's what's next. It looks like our final story in the TV section is about the new Green Arrow TV series. Well, it's been announced that the show executive, Mark Guggenheim, has claimed that Batman could be seen in the TV series.
That's probably a bad idea.
Yes. His quote is, "Our hope is that we can use Batman at some point. That would be awesome, no question, absolutely awesome. But I don't know, that's above my pay grade. The rights are not available as yet, but our hope is that they will be available at some point." Imagine the first time you see Batman after the end of The Dark Knight Rises is in bleeding Green Arrow.
It's more that I don't know if it would be a good idea to combine the two characters anyway, because the original reason that Green Arrow was developed was so that they weren't constantly using Batman in stories.
Yes, that's right.
And Green Arrow was basically, which is why in Kevin Smith, which is why in Kevin Smith's story where run on Green Arrow, where he turns up and he's like lost his memory or something, or everyone thinks he's dead. He's like, "Where's my Arrowmobile? Where's the Arrow Cave?" And Batman's just like, "Seriously, did you not have any of your own ideas?"
Well, we shall see if Batman turns up in that, but right now, all signs point to no. Okay, right, well...
Ask Siri.
Yes, hang on, let's find out, okay. Siri, is it a wise idea if Batman turns up in Arrow?
Checking my sources. How about a web search for
No,
theory?
he doesn't know. Shut up, go away.
I was hoping that he would say Outlook is bleak.
No, shut up. What did he say?
I was hoping he'd say Outlook is bleak.
It's not a magic 8 ball. Oh god. Right, well, that's the last of the TV news.
Ask him if he's annoyed. Ask him if he's annoyed with Zooey Deschanel yet.
No.
Oh.
No, because you're just doing a web search for it. No, it's boring. Right, so let's move on then from TV news to a section I suppose will be coming to far more recent, far more, what's the word?
Far more regularly.
Regularly, that's right. It's the Doctor Who section.
Hide behind the sofa as we discuss Doctor Who.
Okay, and it was announced last week that Richard E. Grant has been cast as the villain in the Christmas special, which will see the introduction of the new companion played by Gemma. No, that's the name. What's her name? I forgot. Louise. No, that's wrong. I've completely. Gemma Louise Coleman. That's it. I completely forgot her name now for a moment. Yep, she's. That's her introduction episode, and Richard E. Grant is going to be in it. Now, Richard E. Grant also played the Doctor twice, in fact. Once in the Case of Fatal Death comic relief sketch written by Stephen Moffat. He played, I believe, the 11th incarnation of the Doctor in that. And he was also the official 9th Doctor for a while, when it looked like Doctor Who wasn't coming back to the TV. In around 2002, they did an animated web series called Scream of the Shalka, which Richard E. Grant, the new Doctor, was modelled on him, and he did the voice of it.
All right.
So for a while, in fact, in one of the
books...
Is
that not canon anymore?
No, not anymore. No, in one of the books, they're talking about the 9th Doctor, and they're saying that time has been fractured, and there are actually 3 versions of him out there. One being the Richard E. Grant version, one being the Christopher Eccleston version, and one being the Rowan Atkinson version from Curse of Fatal Death.
Oh, so nice.
He's somewhat canon, but technically not. So he's most frequently known as the Shalka Doctor or the Reg Doctor, R-E-G, for Richard E. Grant, obviously. Yeah.
He needs a. I wonder if he's going to turn up with a lot of booze.
Possibly. Well, let's face it. That means that Withnail will have been in Doctor Who, and I would have been Doctor Who at some point. Obviously, Paul McGann being the 8th Doctor.
Oh, yeah,
so I regenerated into Withnail once upon a time, which would be strange.
Yeah, I still need to see that film too.
It's a great movie.
Yeah, I've been told by loads of people that it's really good.
What's next then? Oh, right, okay. The next one is that it's been announced the first official announcements as to what's going to be happening through the 2013 50th anniversary year for Doctor Who, and BBC is to screen a drama written by Mark Gatiss, all about the inception and creation of the Doctor Who TV show. Like they do on BBC Two, they did like Fantabulosa about what's his face, Kenneth Williams, and they did like Frankie Howard and all that kind of stuff. Well, they're doing one of them, but for Doctor Who's creation, and it's going to be called An Adventure in Time and Space. And as I say, it's going to be written by Mark Gatiss. Now, pretty much everyone knew this was going to happen. It's one of the worst secrets in TV, but it was officially announced last week.
Cool.
I love those drama presentations. So fingers crossed that it's going to be going to live up to what we hope. And tonight, being August the 14th of Tuesday the 14th of August, actually saw the first press screening of Asylum of the Daleks at the British Film Institution. Now they did a panel afterwards where it was confirmed, first of all, the titles of the the first 5 episodes of the new series, the short series we're getting that ties up the end of the story of the Ponds before moving into Christmas. First one, obviously Asylum of the Daleks, first episode, which had a confirmed air date as the 1st of September. Okay, which is actually the next day that my Doctor Who Society has a meeting, so we'll be watching that live. Second episode is Dinosaurs on a Spaceship. The third episode is called...
Oh, was that written by Grant Morrison?
The third episode is A Town Called Mercy, which is the Western episode. The fourth one is called The Power of Three. And then the fourth one...
Starring the people from Charm.
Yeah, and then rather the fifth one is called The Angels Take Manhattan, which is the final story for Amy and Rory, and obviously features the Weeping Angels.
Ah.
So there we go. But that's
and by the sounds of the title, it's also going to guest star Kurt Russell.
Well, it is set in New York.
Or the
so you never
Muppets.
know. Yes, that'll be cool. Right, what do we have? Right, there's other stories that came out from the panel. Let's see. Stephen Moffat confirms there are no two-parters in Series 7. Matt Smith has confirmed that he will be the Doctor at least until 2014. Stephen Moffat confirms that he recently had dinner with David Tennant. Take that as you will. Actually, I did get told recently that the new Doctor Who experience in Cardiff, that has on display all the costumes for all the Doctors over the years. David Tennant's costume has been removed for unknown reasons. Again, take that as you will. New producer Carolyn Skinner has said that there will be several live Doctor Who events in 2013, which would tally to one of the rumours that we've heard previously, which was that they were going to do a live episode of Doctor Who, in much the same vein as they did the live episode of Quatermass back in 2005, that David Tennant was actually part of. Cool. Stephen Moffat has confirmed that the Doctor has 13 lives unless he makes something up that changes that. And there we go. So that's all that came off.
Which number Doctor are they on?
This is the 11th Doctor. So basically he has 2 more regenerations and then he's knackered.
Then again, they could always figure out some way around that, because
they've gone around it. Yeah.
I was going to say the Master had
the Master
used all his lives, and then they managed to give him another set of 13 because he helped them with something.
Well, in the 5 Doctors, the Time Lords basically said to the Atlee Ainley Doctor, who had possessed the body of Tremas, what's he from? He was from what's that planet called? Traken. He was from Traken. He possessed the body of Tremas, and basically the Time Lord said that if he helps them with getting the Doctor out of the death zone on Gallifrey, then they would give him a new set of regenerations, being another set of 13 lives. So the Time Lords can restore regenerations, but obviously the Time Lords are trapped in the time bubble at the moment. This is incredibly geeky stuff. So we don't know what's going to happen there, but I'll leave it to Stephen Moffat to sort that one out. That's not my job.
Fair enough. You would like it to be your job.
I would love it to be my job, but it ain't ever going to be. So,
pity.
Yeah. So that's all my Doctor Who news then. So we'll take us through to our final section, which would be Any Other Business.
Any other business?
Zoe, are you still alive?
I am.
Right.
Okay, well, prepare for some weird stuff, because this is generally the part of the show where things get strange.
Yep.
Stranger, anyway. It was announced this week that Churchill was the first person to use OMG, the popular abbreviation of Oh My God. Let's see. A letter was discovered which may contain the first use of the term OMG. It is from it's a letter from Lord Fisher to the former British Prime Minister, or rather, Sean Usher from Letters and Notes unveiled the letter from Lord... anyway.
Sean Usher from Letters of Note unveiled... that's the sentence you're on.
To say,
unveiled the letter from Lord Fisher to the former British Prime Minister from September 1917.
So someone wrote to Churchill, and then he wrote back. That's basically what they're saying here.
Well, this letter is the one written to Churchill.
Actually, it looks like... Yeah, it wasn't Churchill who said it at all. It was the other guy.
No, it was Lord Fisher.
Lord Fisher.
Can I read it?
Yes, if you would like to. Got to do it in a voice, though.
Yes, I was going to say, the letter is from Lord Fisher to the Right Honourable Winston Churchill. My dear Winston...
No, do it in future, Andy.
Okay. My dear Winston, I am here for a few days longer before rejoining my wise men at Victory House. The world forgetting, by the world forgot. But some headlines in the newspapers have utterly upset me. Terrible!
Get to the point.
A German fleet to assist the land operations in the Baltic. Pardon?
I said get to the point.
landing the Gemini south of the world. You asked me to read the entire thing.
Oh, come on.
We are 5 times stronger at sea than our enemies, and here is a small fleet that we could gobble up in a few minutes, playing the great vital sea part of landing an army in the enemy's rear, and probably capturing the Russian capital by sea. My jaw. This is holding the ring with a vengeance! Are we really capable of a big enterprise? I hear that a new order of knighthood is on the Thames. OMG! Oh, my God! Shower it on the Admiralty! Yours, Sir 917! There you go.
I like that.
That really hurt my jaw.
Oh, God, I like that. Lord Fisher then died 3 years later, because people knew that this was the beginnings of the only way is Essex, and the man had to be stopped.
Churchill later replied, "Oh dear Fisher, I am laughing heartily out loud."
Oh, you crazy fool. Oh. Brilliant. Well, there we go. What's next then? You thrown me that by that. Oh, right, okay. The next one we've got is about a burglar who was found nude and asleep in the house that he was burgling. Or rather, nude intruder, I suppose it says. Yeah, it says a naked man has broken into an apartment in Sweden, falling asleep in the occupier's bed. The woman who lives in the property failed to wake up when the 35-year-old drunk local kicked down her doors in her building. She woke in the early hours of the morning to find her in his bed and left the room without disturbing him. She then called the police, who arrested the intruder. What? It's like, this isn't my house, but I'm tired. Okay, bang, in he goes.
Yeah, but that's like that whole bloody Frankie Boyle routine about Scotland, where he says he's he could tell that he was in Scotland because he saw some drunk guy taking a piss against the front door, who then got his keys out and walked in.
Okay.
It's just the same sort of thing.
Okay. Well, it's not, because this guy didn't actually live in the house. Well, what's next then? Oh, right, okay. Next up is an item that went on sale on eBay for $10,000. And do you know what that item was?
No.
The item was a first-generation iPhone. Brand new, sealed in the box. He's described it as a rare collector's vintage box. And basically hasn't give anyone a chance to bid for it. It's just buy it now, $10,000. Basically saying to people, it's going to be, it's a collector's item, one of a kind, you'll never get another one. Bear in mind that you can actually go onto eBay and buy them sealed for £200.
Who would want it? The shite.
There's nothing wrong with iPhones, I've got one.
No, the first one.
Oh, the first one, yeah, that's true.
I've heard practically all of them are shit.
Hey, no, we are, right. Defend yourself, Apple, right. Are you shit?
I'm just trying to help you.
See, the man himself, Mr. Apple, Mr. Siri Apple. He says he just wants to help. Granted, he's going to take.
Ask him why I can't delete his factory-provided apps.
Okay. Why can't we delete your factory-provided apps?
Let me think. I can't answer that, but I could search the web for it, if you like.
No, don't be silly.
See? Dickhead.
You can't answer that. What's next then? Oh, right, okay.
I still have a vendetta against Apple just because it's like, oh, we're going to give you, we'll provide your iPhone 3 with voice recorder. Can you delete it? No. Do you have a microphone? No. What's the point in it?
It's got a fairly decent the microphone on the actual voice part on it.
No, my iPod does not have a microphone.
Oh, your iPod. What's on your iPod?
It's like, well, exactly.
Should have got an iPhone.
It's an iPod, so why does it? It's an iPod, so why does it need to come with a voice recorder?
Well, because you can get a microphone for it.
Can I?
Yeah.
Oh.
See?
Well, in that case, it's slightly more excusable. Well, not really, because then I got into the argument with them where it's like, oh, because I updated and your thing said it had backed up all my music, and it didn't, I've just lost all this purchasing. And they're like, oh, well, we'll give it you back this once, but if it happens again, then you've got to buy it again. I'm like, no, fuck you, I bought that music, it's mine.
We should have backed it up then.
I did, and it failed.
Well, that's not their fault.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. You should have put it on an external hard drive or something like that, copied the files over. That's what I do.
I did. I went into iTunes, went, back this up. It said,
no, I'm not.
I've backed up all your files. Do you want to update?
No, I'm
yes.
not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should have gone into the folder where the files were stored, copied them, and then pasted them into wherever, your external drive or whatever.
What?
That's what I do.
Oh,
Copy the actual MP3 itself. Anyway, we're off the subject.
Fuck iPod.
Well, to be fair, you don't know shit unless you've had a BlackBerry.
That's very true. I will let you have that one.
A fair point.
Yes.
I'm just going to go for an Android phone anyway.
Well,
my brother's Google phone is apparently really cool. Plus, then it gives me an opportunity to wind my arm round and punch the air. That's actually a reference to reference to Ross Noble's Non-Sensory Overload, which isn't out on DVD yet, so you won't understand what the fuck I'm on about.
Yes.
Never mind.
That's not us, is it? Oh, well. Anyway.
I might be on one of the things.
No, cool. Well, he usually puts out the Liverpool shows, so I'm on like 6 of them by now. You can actually, if people I haven't told this already, but if you get the Nobleism tour, the one that was filmed in Liverpool as the main show, at one point out he's looking at a glass eye and he says, "What am I going to do with this?" You hear me in the audience shout out to "Give it to Barry." That's me.
Yeah, it's like that's why I'm hoping that he includes, because there was a camera at the back.
He always records every single show.
I don't know if he does, because the Bradford show I went to didn't have a camera.
No, he records every single one. You may not see the camera, but he does record them, because what he does is he watches them back like every night and basically takes the best bits and tries to use them again somewhere where he can.
Well, I really hope that he uses the Manchester show that I was at, because throughout the entire show, after I yelled something at him, he was constantly referencing me.
Nice one.
Which was awesome.
Nice one.
Although, it was mainly because he said... he pointed out that I had the beard, and at that point I didn't have the mustache.
Right.
Type thing.
So you're just like Abe Lincoln and stuff, all Amish.
So he said, that's what he said. He also said I looked like a prepubescent Chewbacca. And then I said, well, it's not grown properly up at the top yet. And he goes, then why bother with the bottom? And then before I could say, it's mainly because I couldn't be arsed shaving, he goes off on a tangent going, well, that's like if you could grow no hair on your body except for one long bit on your left testicle. You'd cut that off, or would you keep it? So I yelled, I'd comb it over! And then he goes, what, onto your head? And then he starts talking about combing. So then whenever he referred to pubes during the show, he came back to me.
Nice. Well,
because at one point he says something about exotic testicle hair, and some woman yells, what's exotic testicle hair? And then he goes, any that isn't his, and points at me.
Well, if that show comes out on DVD anytime soon, hopefully you'll be able to see Andy getting the piss taken out of him.
Yes.
Right, okay. Well, I don't know how we segue from that to Hitler, but we will. Hitler wine bottles...
Noble good. Hitler bad.
Yes, Hitler wine bottles have been called offensive.
Oh, really?
Yes. In the city of Goatt in Italy, visitors to the city have been shocked by bottles of wine on sale in supermarkets that feature pictures of Hitler in various poses. what like the bloody Marilyn Monroe?
Sorry, I just imagine Hitler like laying there going, draw me like one of your Frenchmen.
Draw me like one of your French girls. Oh, Leonardo DiCaprio. Let's see. One bottle has an image of Hitler with his arm raised, going, yeah! Another is labelled Mein Kampf. And another was called, you speak French, German, that's the one.
Ein Volk, ein Reich, ein Führer.
Which means one people, one empire, one Führer. Visitor Michael Hirsch told the Daily Telegraph, it's shocking and startling to us. We would think of it as neo-Nazism. It makes you wonder about the sympathies of the local people. The father of Hirsch's wife Cindy was born in Czechoslovakia and is an Auschwitz survivor. Local authorities are said to have opened up an inquiry as to the reasons behind the sales of this wine. Because I put some raw hypnol in every bottle, and then when I see the boys drinking it, I know it's fun time for Hitler.
It's fun time for Hitler. Yeah, this actually reminds me of a different story that I was reading online, where for some reason CNN had some article up talking about white power bands because it turned out, you know, that guy who did a shooting in a Sikh temple or whatever.
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, it turned out he was frontman for 2 white power hardcore bands, and one of the bands that got mentioned in a list of these are all white power bands was Hatebreed, which is completely wrong.
Okay.
And I just saw a load of things where CNN actually did the halfway decent thing and go, oh yeah, they're not really a white power band. We're sorry. compared to normally when CNN do anything, where or oh well, I suppose they're not Fox News, so they wouldn't have gone. Nope, we're right. Even though we're wrong, we're right.
Okay. No.
So yeah, it just reminds me of that. Though, why would it be offensive to? Why would anyone actually want to put Hitler on a bottle of wine?
I have no idea.
It doesn't actually explain.
No, it's not been explained. That's what I'm saying. They launched an investigation as to who's doing it and why.
Though one of the links underneath is really confusing, which is wine snob ghost lurks in British pub.
Okay. Was that like Brian Badondi or something like that? Brilliant. I'm drinking Brian.
I'm trying to open it, but my internet seems to have fucked itself again.
Yeah, no worries. Well, we'll move on to the next story I've got here, which is about bears.
Bear.
Yeah, that is decent bear. Now, this is Norwegian Evan Borthen Nilsen and her family, who returned to their log cabin after a nice day out.
His family.
Sorry? Oh, his family. Do beg your pardon, yeah. Returned to his cabin after a nice day out, only to find that a mother bear and her 3 cubs had helped themselves to their food and guzzled down more than 100 cans of lager. Apparently, the bears got into the house through an open window and swiftly wreaked havoc. He says they had a hell of
for porridge.
Yes, it's our turn now. What would a Norwegian bear sound like? What the Norwegian? It's like the hurdy-gurdy bear, supposed to say.
No,
we are the bears.
It's Norwegian, so they'd obviously talk in a black metal voice. They'd be like, we're here for porridge.
We want the porridge.
Krieg.
I will sit on your chair and bring it. And I'll get you
Shredder.
next time.
The hell?
No, that's it. Fucking Dr. Claw.
Yeah. Yeah. That was right, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I got lost in that then for a moment. I forgot I could do Dr. Claw. Also, he also sounds like, what is it?
Shockwave in Transformers 2.
Got the same voice.
Soundwave, you mean?
Soundwave, whatever. Yeah. I knew it was one of the two. I took a gamble.
Shockwave
anyway.
Appears in the third
That's
one.
right, yeah.
And he doesn't actually talk English.
He
just the entire time he speaks Cybertronian.
Yes. Yeah, so basically, the bears had a right old piss up, apparently. So that actually puts... I think we need to change the old adage now, and it's actually bears get shit-faced in the woods.
Indeed.
And our final story, we were keeping it in the animal kingdom this week.
This one's actually in the notes, isn't it?
Yes. I got sent this. It was actually my ex who turned me onto this one. It says, a goat has been accused of robbery. Police in Nigeria are holding a goat on suspicion of attempted armed robbery. Vigilantes seized the black and white goat, saying it was an armed robber who had used black magic to transform himself into an animal to escape after trying to steal a Mazda 323. A spokesman for police in eastern state of Kwara said, the goat is in our custody. Vigilantes saw some hoodlums. Vigilantes saw some hoodlums attempting to rob a car. One escaped while the other turned into a goat. So,
satanic as fuck.
So it makes me think whether or not it was actually Goat Man. Who's that hunter who's been dressed himself up as a goat, so he can get close to them. Again, you've not listened to the new Tell 'em Steve Dave yet. They cover it on that. Basically, there's a hunter who's been dressing up as a goat to try and get close to them, so he can shoot them.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me see if I can Google them quick. But yeah, they go into it in great detail.
Kind of like Rocket Man, except he dresses as a goat.
Oh god, you're going all stylophone on me again.
Oh god.
Let's hope that it stays with us before the end of the show.
Yeah, hopefully.
Where are we? Okay, now my Google isn't working. Oh, for God's sakes.
Ask Siri.
Yes, actually, that's a good point, yeah.
Because then he'll read it to us.
Yes. Oh, here we go. Hang on. No, it's come up. Let's see. Goatman. There we go. Yes. Okay. Goatman in the Utah mountains. Let's see.
That's a film I would love to see.
Okay, I'm going to send you the link over now, and this is a picture of Goatman.
Okay.
That should work.
Or not, according to my...
Okay, let me try again.
Oh, it still says connecting, so...
Right, okay, I will read you the article. Right, this is from Yahoo News. Salt Lake City from the Associated Press. A man spotted dressed in a goat suit among a herd of wild goats in the mountains of northern Utah has been identified as a hunter preparing for Canadian archery season. After a hiker spotted the so-called Goat Man on July the 15th in the mountains above Ogden, around 40 miles north of Salt Lake City, wildlife officials said they wanted to talk to the person to be certain he was aware of the dangers of hunting the dangers as hunting season approaches. They speculated he might have been an extreme wildlife enthusiast who wanted to get as close as possible to the goats. A few days after spotting, state wildlife authorities received an anonymous call from an agitated man who simply said, "Leave Goat Man alone, he's done nothing wrong." This week, however, the mystery was solved. Phil Douglas of the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources said he received a call on Monday from a 57-year-old Southern California hunter who explained he was merely trying out his goat suit in preparation for a mountain goat hunt in Canada next year. He gave me enough details about the area and situation that it made me feel confident that this was him. In talking to him, I feel he was very knowledgeable, a very experienced hunter. He's hunted internationally. Well, he's been in America and Canada.
It's not really international when you don't cross the sea!
My concern all along... Well, that's like saying I'm international because I've been to Wales.
Precisely.
My concern all along is...
Oh, I'm international because I've been to Bristol.
My concern all along is that this person needed to understand the risks, and certainly after talking to him, I felt that he was doing the best he could to understand and mitigate those risks. He was simply preparing for a hunt. The man did not identify himself, Douglas said, noting the hunter was concerned for his safety after widespread media coverage of the sighting. Cody Creighton, 33, spotted the goat man July 15th during his hike. He said that he came across a herd but noticed something odd about one goat that was trailing behind the rest. "I thought it was maybe injured," Creighton says last week. "It just looked odd." He said he pulled out binoculars to get a closer look at the goats about 200 yards away and was shocked. The man appeared to be acting like a goat whilst wearing a crudely made costume with fake horns and a cloth mask with cut-out eye holes. "We were the only ones around for miles. It was really creepy." Douglas said that 60 permits will be issued for goat hunting season in the area, which begins in September, and he was worried that the man in the goat... Okay, so we just had some technical difficulties there, but luckily it was literally the end of the show, so that's fine. I'm going to let you all know then that you can contact us on our Twitter pages, which is at 50footnerds, or our individual pages, mine being at Mike G. Bell. Andy?
Mine is Volts of Extoff.
And Zoe?
Commander Keyser.
You can email us anything you want to 50footnerds@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook, like us up. We're on there, facebook.com/Attack of the 50-Foot Nerds. In that case, then, I'm going to sign off and say that my name is Mike Bell.
I'm Andy Weirs. I was trying to think of a pseudonym, but then I failed.
That's where you say your name, Zoe.
Oh, sorry. I'm Zoe Jones.
Oh my god, how many episodes have you listened to and you still don't know how the show ends?
I keep thinking I'm listening to it.
We'll
and
do
not
it again
here.
Well, you are.
Honestly,
Okay, then.
we'll try it again. My name is Mike Bell.
I'm the Goat Man.
And I'm Zoe Jones.
Geek out. We shall find.
Goats, they like to ride. Oh, goats, they like to sing and dance.
I am the Goat Man. I wear my cape. I go to the hills and I will rape any goat that I see. Here from the I am the Goat Man. Get in front of my horns. Oh! I am the Goat Man. Doop doop. And that's how we come up with our end credits. Like.
You see how I thought some of it may have been scripted, but now it's just
no.
There's just no words.
The only scripts that ever exist in our show are for Ghost Talk. Gosh.
if you've enjoyed the nerddom in your ears, then please follow us on Twitter at 50footnerds, or email us anything except spam at 50footnerds@gmail.com.
Yeah. No, the only thing that's ever been 100% fully scripted was Ghost Hawk.
Yep.
Episode 1, and when I eventually get my computer back up and running again, we can do episode 2.
Yeah, I need to try and record some stuff.
Yes.
That I don't want to divulge.
I know. Yeah.
You know what I mean.
I do indeed. Yes.
And now Zoe's confused.
Yes.
He's going to record a video of himself snowballing himself.
Why would I snowball myself?
Snowballing future you.
I think we found our post-credits clip. Good night, everybody.
I'm sorry, it's just because I still imagine future me like Mike says it sounds, which is me pulling that face, wearing the fishing hat and stuff, like those guys on Monty Python.
In the future. I love it.